right, today we are talking about sports and some sports vocabulary. So I have up here sports with three different categories: people, actions, and places. And these are a few vocabulary words that have to do with people in sports or athletics. Opponent. Say it out loud. Opponent. An opponent is someone you play against. So that is a person that takes an opposite position. You often hear about opponents in sports because there are two teams playing against each other. But you can also use the word opponent in other ways, like if you're having a debate. The person who is debating against you would also be the opponent. So this is a person who is on the opposite side as you. Spectator. Say it out loud. Spectator. Spectator is a person who watches the sports games. Now again, it doesn't have to just refer to sports. A spectator could be someone who is watching any kind of thing, a show, a concert. Someone who watches is a spectator. If you've ever heard glasses being referred to as specs, you'll notice that there is a root word in here, and that has to do with seeing and watching things. So a spectator is someone that watches the sports games. Then we have a coach. And a coach, say it out loud, coach, coach. A coach is someone who trains or instructs people in a particular sport. That is the person who is guiding the players and instructing them and training them and helping them figure out what to do in order to win the game and be successful. That is a coach. And also often at games, you will see a referee. Let's say this together. Say it out loud. Referee. A referee is a person who reviews and has a final authority in administering a game. So this is the person that determines those close calls. If a ball is out of bounds or if a team has scored a point, this person might be the judge. They are the referee. So all of these words refer to people in sports. And if you remember, what part of speech would this be? People. If you said nouns, you would be correct. Because nouns are people, places, or things. So all of these words are nouns. Now, we're going to move over to some actions that have to do with sports. Bounce. You can bounce a ball. And the definition would be to rebound or reflect. That's when you take a ball, it hits the ground, and it bounces. So it comes back, it reflects or rebounds back up. That is bounce. Say it out loud, bounce. This word, pass, is when you have the ball and you send it to someone else. So it goes from your possession to another person's possession. That would be pass. And of course, remember, these words are often used in other situations too, and not just sports. So you could pass someone a pen or pass someone a piece of paper. And that just means that it leaves your possession and goes over to someone else. So that is pass. And this one, kick, say it out loud, kick. Kick is when you use your foot to strike something or to hit something with your foot. Often in sports, you will be kicking a ball around. So that is kick. Now, these three words are all actions. So think about, what part of speech do you think actions are? If you said verbs, you would be correct. Remember that verbs are action words and they show an action. Now, this is a little tricky, but this word coach is a person. That is the person who instructs or trains the people playing the sport. But a coach coaches people. So the person, coach, can also use this word as a verb, and a coach can coach people. So if it's used as a verb, we're talking about the act of instructing or training people. So you have a coach who coaches and a referee who referees. So these two words can mean the people, but they also can mean an action. So they can be a verb form as well. So you could have, in a sentence, you could say the coach coaches the players, or the referee referees the game. So you could use that word twice, once as a noun and once as a verb. There are also places that have to do with certain sports. Field. Let's say it out loud. Field. A field is a wide open space, a flat outdoor area where a game is played. Field, like a soccer field or a football field. Then this one, court, say it out loud. Court. A court is an open space that is paved or otherwise finished so that a game can be held. Often you will hear this with a tennis court or a basketball court. It is a space where the game is played. It has to have a flat surface and usually some sort of paved or finished surface so you can bounce a ball on it. This word, track, let's say it out loud. Track. A track is a path, usually for runners, that people can move along. So think about, you've probably heard of train tracks. It's the same idea. It's a path that something can move along. So again, some of these words do not always have to do with sports. We're talking about them in a sports context. So we're referring to things that happen in athletics. But a track can also just be a path. A rink, let's say this out loud, rink. A rink is an indoor space with a flat surface that is often used for skating. So you can have an ice skating rink where the surface is ice, or a roller skating rink where the surface is something hard and flat and smooth that people can roller skate on. So that is rink. Now, some of these words you may have heard before. For example, this word court, it does have multiple meanings. Today, we've reviewed the meanings that have to do with sports, and a sports court, like a basketball court, would be an area, a place where people play. But it could also be a court of law. So that is an entirely different meaning of the word. So keep in mind, if some of these words sound familiar to you, but the meaning that I have given you doesn't match the meaning that you have in your head, it could just be that this word has multiple meanings. And these things, field, court, track, and rink, are all places. And what part of speech are places? If you said nouns, you would be correct. So these are also nouns, because remember, people, places, and things are nouns, and action words are verbs. So here are some words that you can now use when you are talking about sports or athletics. Here is the list of vocabulary with the categories. If you want to save this vocabulary, you can always pause the video and write down the meanings of the words, or even take a screenshot of the words. But again, we have all of our people that have to do with sports. You have the opponent, the person that takes an opposite position of you. This is usually, so the person that takes the opposite position from you, that's usually the person that is playing on an opposite team from you. A spectator is the person that watches the games. A coach is the person that instructs or trains people as they are playing sports. A referee is the person who reviews what is happening in the game, and that is the person who has the authority to decide certain decisions in the game and administering the game. We have actions as well, so those are our verbs. We have nouns up here with the people, and actions, the verbs. So you have bounce, meaning to rebound or reflect, and that is like bouncing a ball. When a ball goes up and down, that is bounce. You have pass, which is to go from the possession from you to another person, so from your possession to someone else. And to kick, when you strike or hit something with your foot. Usually you kick a ball. And remember, we said, I think you can still see behind me here, that sometimes the words coach and referee refer to the people, but they can also be verbs. They can also be action words. And that would be the act of coaching. So that would be the act of instructing or training, or the act of refereeing. So that would be reviewing and voting on things and just determining certain things for a game, like who got the point or if the ball was out of bounds. That would be something a referee would do. So that would be the action that a referee is taking, as well as the title of the position that the referee has. So those two can both be nouns and verbs. Then we have the places. Field, a flat outdoor area where a game is played. A court, an open, paved, or otherwise finished space where a game can be held. So for example, a tennis court or a basketball court. You have a track, which is a path that is often for runners. You will usually hear track and field. They do different activities on a track, a running track, a place where people can move along this path. You have the word rink, which is an indoor space with a smooth surface, usually for skating. You have an ice skating rink where ice hockey could be played, or people can do figure skating, and that flat surface would be made out of ice. But if people are roller skating or roller blading, then it would be an indoor rink that has probably a wooden floor with a very smooth surface that people could move along in skates. There are a few collocations as well that you might hear when people are talking about sports. You will often hear these certain words go together. So remember, if you remember from other lessons, collocations are those words that often are found together. So if we're talking about winning something, you might win a trophy. Maybe there was a championship game, the big final game, and you win a trophy, which is the physical statue that people win when they win a game. So might be like a golden color, it might look like a big cup, or have a little person on top of it playing the sport, but that is a trophy. So you will often hear win a trophy. You might also hear the phrase achieve your goal or achieve your goals. And goals are things that you want to accomplish. And to achieve them means that you get to do those goals, that you win the game, or that you become successful at something. So you will often hear, and a lot of times referred to with sports, you want to achieve your goals. You want to accomplish those exciting things like winning the game or becoming really fast at running or scoring a certain number of points. You also often hear, especially when people are playing for schools or something like that, you will hear people talking about representing your team. And that means that you are a representative, or you are the person that people are looking at, representing a team or a school, and you want to keep up a good reputation. So you don't want to be a bad sport. That's another good phrase. But you want to play the game well, and you want to be gracious even if you lose the game, because you are representing your team, you are representing your school or your state or whatever it is that your team is coming out of. And you want to be seen with a good reputation or a good representation of that place. Then we also hear things like score a goal or score points. So when you score something, it means that you got the ball into the goal or you into the basket and you got points for it. So scoring means that you did the thing that you're supposed to do in that game in order to win something, like win points or maybe even win the game. So score a goal, score points. And we have that word opponent, which is the person who is opposite of you, playing on the other team. And we want to beat the opponent. You always want to win against the other team. So you'll often hear the phrase beat the opponent or beat your opponent. And that doesn't mean beat like this kind of beat. It means like win against them. So that is beat your opponent. You want to win the game. So here are some common sports collocations or phrases that are often heard together. I hope this video helps you as you talk about sports and athletics. Thanks for watching.